So one of the things that we're going to shift around and do this year in 2026 is we're actually going to talk about the market when it pertains to a certain specific zip code. And we think that it'll kind of help people understand a little more what's happening in the area. So if there's a zip code that you're super interested in, let us know and we can review that. The first zip code that we're going to talk about is over in Northwest Dallas, and it's 75229.
And you live in the zip code.
It was easy for me to talk about this one. So
So this is a really broad zip code that is bordered really on the western side by almost all the way over to I-35, north side LBJ, really it's Allen Crest. It's one of the smaller streets, and then on the South Walnut Hill, it encompasses a broad spectrum of properties. There are
perfect.
little bitty condos in the western part of this. There are normal homes in the center of it, and then you get some McMansions over in the eastern end of it.
And I see a lot of people, everything is for sale from a lot to end user to a fixer-upper to a complete teardown. So there's a lot of variety. So this is a very interesting cross-section for us to look at. So what we kind of want to do is we're going to point out some of the information, if I can find my notes on this, that pertain to the stats that are going on right now. And currently there are 87 homes that are on the market. And this has an average sales price of $1,161,000. And it has a median, which is quite different, of 810,000, which again, as Jeff was pointing out, there's little condos and there's really big mansions. And so this can kind of really change when we take a look at the median versus the average.
Yeah, part of the zip code on the east is where some of the most expensive property in the city of Dallas is. So you get into a small section of it there where you've got a $28 million home and a $32 million home, and that really skews when you're talking the majority of your homes in there are under $1 million, I'd say.
Absolutely. We're talking about $337 a square foot is what the average is, and you and I were just showing Ashington, and it was $447, and that can tell you how much of a swing that there can be. And currently, days on market is 51, and that is such a relief given what we've been in the past. I think that you and I talked about white hot is not our favorite, but that this is also down from November this year, which was 61.
And in December, there were 22 new listings that came on the market in that zip code. There are currently 13 pending homes there. And then there were 17 that closed in the month of December, compared with 25 of them that closed in the year before, or in the December of 2024.
So there's about 2.8 months worth of inventory on the market. We like it to see closer to 4, but we'll take this every day versus what we've seen in the past. This still doesn't mean that this is exactly what's happening because there is such a large cross section. I think that you can actually dial it in and break it into condos, lots, and then also the different types of homes, and you can get even a more clear idea. But this is a really great way for us to kick off the new year and talk a little bit more about real estate here in Dallas.